The fluorescent lights of the school cafeteria hummed, a harsh counterpoint to the low murmur of parent chatter. Elias Thorne felt every one of his 34 years pressing down on him, a familiar, heavy cloak of exhaustion. He clutched Lily's small hand, her warmth a tiny anchor in the sea of polished shoes and designer bags. He heard the whispers, a faint rustle of judgment. German single father, always looked so tired, probably barely making it. His shoulders hunched instinctively. Lily, ever perceptive, squeezed his hand, her bright eyes flicking up to his weary face for just a second, a silent question only he would catch. Before he could offer a tired smile, Ms. Anya Sharma, Lily's teacher, clapped her hands, her voice clear and bright, cutting through the room. "Parents, if I could have your attention." All eyes swiveled, then settled on Elias. "Elias, would you mind standing for a moment?" Miss Sharma asked, her gaze kind but firm. Elias's stomach clenched. He didn't want to be singled out. Didn't want the spotlight on his worn jeans and oil-stained hands. But he stood, Lily still clinging to his side. Ms. Sharma then held aloft a sheet of paper. It was a child's drawing, vibrant with crayon. A figure, undeniably him, stood beside a car, hands smudged with grease. Beside him, a smaller figure, Lily, offered a sandwich. The caption, scrawled in earnest, childish letters, read, "My hero." Miss Sharma's voice softened. "In 20 years of teaching, I have never seen a child draw their parent in such a way. It speaks volumes." A collective gasp rippled through the room. Elias felt a burning in his chest, a wave of profound, unexpected emotion threatening to break his composure. The cafeteria fell silent, the weight of Lily's simple masterpiece hanging in the air. Ms. Sharma continued, her voice gentle but resonant. "And when I asked Lily her one magic wish, do you know what she said? She wished for her dad to get a real night's sleep." Elias's breath hitched. From the corner of his eye, he saw Mr. Julian Vance, a parent known for his impeccably tailored suits, scoff quietly. Ms. Sharma's gaze, however, was unwavering, and Vance quickly looked away. "I understand," Ms. Sharma said, her voice dropping to a near whisper, "what it's like to see a parent struggle, to watch them sacrifice everything. My own mother worked 3 jobs to raise me." Elias swallowed hard, the raw, aching truth of Lily's wish hitting him with the force of a physical blow. His eyes burned. Elias retreated into the fortress of his own mind, Miss Sharma's words echoing, Lily's wish a painful refrain. Palms a real night's sleep. The shame of his visible exhaustion warred with an overwhelming surge of love for his daughter. He was supposed to be her rock, not a subject of pity. The sheer weight of his responsibilities pressed down on him, a familiar ache. He glanced at Lily, who looked up at him with innocent, unwavering trust. He forced a reassuring smile. He would provide for her, no matter the cost, no matter the hours. He couldn't be a charity case, couldn't let anyone think he wasn't enough. He just couldn't. The silence in the cafeteria was heavy, broken only by the rustle of the sealed envelope in Elias's trembling hand. Miss Sharma's gentle gaze encouraged him. He tore it open, his eyes scanning the elegant script. "Dear Mr. Thorne," it began, "we are thrilled to inform you that your daughter, Lily Thorne, has been awarded a full academic scholarship." Elias's breath hitched. A scholarship? For Lily? It included tutoring, enrichment programs, everything he'd ever dreamed of but couldn't afford. Ms. Sharma's voice, calm yet resonant, explained, "Lily's essay, My Hero the Mechanic, was truly extraordinary. It moved the committee deeply." A collective gasp rippled through the room. Elias felt a dizzying mix of disbelief and overwhelming gratitude, his vision blurring. This couldn't be real. Elias stood, speechless, tears welling in his tired eyes. Lily, oblivious to the profound weight of the moment, tugged his hand. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice innocent, "does this mean I can finally get real art books? With the shiny pages?" Elias dropped to one knee, pulling her into a tight hug. "Yes, baby," he choked out. "Anything you want." From the back, Mr. Julian Vance, the impeccably dressed parent, scoffed softly. "A scholarship is one thing, but it doesn't change a family's fundamental circumstances." he'll still be barely making it. Miss Sharma turned, her gaze firm. "Mr. Vance," she stated, her voice cutting through the tension. "A single opportunity can be the ripple that changes an entire ocean. I know this firsthand. To dismiss it is to dismiss hope itself." Elias felt a surge of pride, even as his cheeks burned. The scholarship news was a whirlwind in Elias's mind, a blessing he couldn't quite grasp. A part of him, the old weary part, felt exposed. A charity case. He heard a parent nearby murmur congratulations, but he simply nodded, unable to meet their eye. He didn't want pity. He just wanted to provide for Lily, on his own terms. Lily, sensing his quietness, looked up. "Are you happy, Daddy?" she asked, her brow furrowed. Elias forced a smile, ruffling her hair. "More than happy, sweet pea, so happy." But inside, he wrestled. He was grateful, profoundly so, for Lily. But for himself, he was wary. His pride, a stubborn companion through years of hardship, still clung to him, heavy and unyielding. Just as Elias started to gather his things, Principal Hayes stepped forward, commanding the room's attention. "Elias Thorne," he announced, "I've been observing your dedication and your daughter's love. We're forming a new parent advisory board, specifically to ensure diverse voices are heard. We need someone to represent our working-class families. We need you." Elias blinked, incredulous. "Me? Sir, I'm just a mechanic." Principal Hayes smiled. "Precisely. Your perspective is vital." Lily clapped her hands. "Daddy's a superhero for the parents," she declared, drawing genuine laughter and a proud, if stunned, smile from Elias. Then, Miss Sharma approached, discreetly handing him a second envelope. "From the PTA fund," she whispered. "Grocery cards, gas vouchers, a clothing card for you both. It's recognition, Elias, not charity, for everything you do." Elias's chest tightened, a profound, unfamiliar warmth spreading through him. As Elias and Lily stepped out of the school, the cool night air felt different, lighter. He took a deep breath, the scent of damp earth and distant exhaust filling his lungs. It wasn't the familiar, heavy breath of exhaustion, but something new, a breathless hope he hadn't known in years. His worth, he realized, wasn't solely measured in the grease under his nails or the hours he toiled, but in the fierce, unwavering love he held for Lily. He glanced down at her, skipping lightly beside him, her hand warm in his. A soft smile touched his lips. He didn't know what tomorrow held, but for the first time in a long time, he was ready for it. The real shock, however, was still coming. Elias's gaze drifted across the school parking lot, still half full. There, standing slightly apart from the other departing parents, was Mr. Julian Vance, the man who had scoffed, whose initial judgment had stung. Vance was motionless. His expensive suit, a dark silhouette against the streetlights, his profile turned away. Elias couldn't discern his expression, but there was a stillness about him that felt different. Not dismissive, not impatient. Contemplative, perhaps? Elias braced himself, a familiar knot tightening in his stomach. He watched as Vance slowly turned, his eyes meeting Elias's across the expanse of asphalt. Then, with a determined set to his jaw, Mr. Vance began to walk toward them. Elias's hand instinctively tightened around Lily's as Mr. Vance approached. He expected another cutting remark, a dismissive glance at his rusty pickup truck. Instead, Vance stopped a respectful distance away, his expression unreadable. "Mr. Thorne," Vance began, his voice softer than Elias remembered. I owe you an apology. My assumptions earlier were entirely out of line." He paused, clearing his throat. "Watching you tonight, seeing your daughter's love, it made me realize what true wealth is. Not money, but devotion." Elias could only stare. This wasn't the man he'd expected. "I run a logistics company," Vance continued, extending a crisp business card. "We manage a large fleet of vehicles. I need someone to oversee maintenance. Someone with integrity, with passion. Someone who knows what it means to work hard. Better pay, steady hours, full benefits. You'd be home for dinner every night." Lily, ever perceptive, tugged on Elias's shirt. "Daddy, does that mean you can be home for dinner more often?" The simple question, echoing Lily's earlier wish for his sleep, shattered Elias's composure. Tears welled in his eyes, blurring the new business card in his hand. He could only nod, a choked sound escaping his throat. Later that evening, after Lily had finally drifted to sleep, Elias sat on the edge of her small bed, the pristine business card still clutched in his hand. The dim light from the hallway cast long shadows across the room, but the oppressive weight that usually settled over him at night was gone. He looked at Lily's peaceful face, her soft breathing the only sound. "You're going to have so many art books, kiddo," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "And I'm going to be here. No more worrying about Daddy being too tired. No more working all night." He thought of Lily's innocent drawing, Ms. Sharma's quiet kindness, and even Mr. Vance's unexpected change of heart. They had all opened this door. Lily stirred, a soft murmur escaping her lips. "Daddy, sleep." A fresh wave of emotion washed over Elias. Her wish, his promise. It was finally real. The following week unfolded like a dream Elias was afraid to wake from. Lily, buoyed by her scholarship, practically floated through the door each day, proudly displaying new art books. Elias continued his shifts at the garage, but with a new lightness in his step. The potential of Mr. Vance's offer a constant, thrilling hum beneath his skin. Then, one evening, while sipping lukewarm coffee at his kitchen table, his phone buzzed. It was an email from Vance Logistics. A formal job offer. 3 times his current earnings. Full health insurance. Paid time off. Elias stared at the screen, a profound relief washing over him. Lily's wish for his sleep wasn't just a dream now. It was a certainty. 2 weeks later, Elias and Lily returned to the school for another parent-teacher meeting. But this time, everything was different. Elias walked with a quiet confidence, his shoulders back, his shirt clean and pressed. The deep-set exhaustion that had etched itself onto his face was gone, replaced by a restful ease. The whispers from other parents were gone too, replaced by nods and genuine smiles. Even Mr. Vance, from a distance, offered a brief, respectful nod. Miss Sharma met them in the hallway, her smile warm. "Elias, congratulations on the new position. Lily tells me you'll be home for dinner now." Lily beamed, her small hand in Elias's. "Yeah, Daddy will sleep now, for real." Elias's chest tightened with gratitude, a silent thank you to the woman who had seen beyond his weary facade. "Thank you, Miss Sharma," he managed, his voice steady, "for everything." As the evening wrapped up, Lily tugged on Elias's hand. "Can we get ice cream, Daddy? You're not working tonight, right?" Elias smiled, the words feeling foreign yet wonderful on his tongue. "No, baby, I'm not working tonight. Ice cream sounds perfect." They left the school, hand in hand, the night feeling light, full of possibility. Elias knew one act of kindness had ignited a chain of events, transforming their lives. Lily, skipping beside him, was already dreaming of how she might give back someday. Later, sitting by his window, a gentle breeze rustling the old curtains, Elias whispered into the quiet night, "We made it, kiddo. We finally made it."